Hello beautiful people, my name is Romi and I'm a yoga teacher and a sports and nutrition advisor, and today we'll be fixing your asana. Today's asana is one of the first inversion everybody wants to learn, and it's headstand or Sirsasana. We just need some steps to follow and some basic foundation and you'll be on your way to a headstand. So find your mat and follow me on this journey. So first thing we need to do is, if you have any rings, take them off because it might hurt your fingers. Now the second don't have things in your hair. Whatever you have in your hair, just take it out. Like this thing, it's a bad idea to have it in your head, so just chuck it out. And especially if you have one of these, I don't recommend having anything like this in your head when you're doing a headstand. You can just make a low bun. That would be the easiest. If you make a high bun where you're doing a headstand, it might be a bit uncomfortable, it might be difficult to balance, so just go with loose hair, or if you want to tie your hair, a low bun is the way to go. So step 1, find your yoga mat and place it against my dear friend Paul the wall. Just get comfortable with Paul. He is very nice. You can get actually very close to him. He is quite supportive and we've been on and off relationship for the past years, and I recommend you also have one. So for step number 2, it's our elbow distance that we're talking about. This will be the distance that you need to do a headstand. We're gonna grab our triceps. We grab our triceps, not our forearms, not our elbows, or triceps. You will see the difference by grabbing the triceps, elbow, forearm. This is way too wide for a forearm setup. Even grabbing the elbows will be too wide, so make sure you can wrap your arms around your triceps. So step number 3 is our hand positioning. We want to clasp our hands like this and create a cup. Now the problem here is that this little pinky that sticks out on the bottom might get hurt once we place it on the mat. So we don't want that. So for that pinky to don't get hurt, we will wrap it inside. So instead of having it under our finger, bring it all the way in. So another thing here is that we don't want to place our hand like this. We don't want to place our head in our hands. We want to place our hand like this, and our head should be placed against it, not on it. Our head doesn't go on it. That's gonna squeeze our fingers. That's a bad idea. So another don't is, don't try to look left or right when we're in a headstand. There's no need for that. Just please don't avoid that. Like we're not checking what the other person is doing or checking what my other neighbor is doing. Just focus on your own practice. Don't look to the sides, but do try to lift from your arms. Try to push the floor away. That definitely is a do. The part of our head that we want on the floor is the crown of our head. So we don't want it to be too much to the front, neither too much to the back, but it's good to have just a straight neck. Now how do we figure out which spot of our head? That's easy. If you make this shape with your hands, you will place your thumb on the top of your nose. I know it's weird, just follow with me. And you will place your pinky up until the crown of your head. So that's right about here in this spot. Maybe just touch it, tap it a couple of times to remember which spot to put on the floor. For step 4, we'll be doing a mock headstand. That means we'll be in the position of a headstand without going up. And that's a good place for you to see if you have the upper body strength to keep you there. Funny thing about headstands is that it's actually not on our head. We have our head as a balance point with the floor, but most of our strength should come out of our forearms. So we should not be balancing with all the weight of our body on our head, but this upper body part is very important to include. So imagine that I take one hair. I should be able to slide that one hair between your head and the floor. So you see, there should be a tiny, tiny, tiny little gap between the mat and your head. Imagine that, so you can push out of your elbows and push out of your forearms, so to help take the weight away from your cervical area or your neck. If you cannot lift your head in this mock headstand, practice this until you have enough strength to do it. Because if we put all the weight on our head, it might be a little bit unbalanced, it might be very difficult for us. So if you cannot lift your head in this position, please practice until you can lift your head a little bit. So that will be a very good prep exercise for you to be able to do a strong headstand. So in this mock headstand, all we want to do is we want to walk as close as possible to our stomach. We want to bring those legs as close as possible, and we're going to try to bend and lift one. Don't do it with straight leg, just keep your knee bent and lift one up and see how that feels. See until which point you can walk. And in that position, we will change our legs as well. So try first with one leg, try afterwards with the other leg, and see which one feels a little bit better. Remember to be pushing out of your forearms. You can see that in this position, you'll see that in this position, you should be able to lift your head quite easily. That shouldn't be a problem. From here, what we will do is we're gonna walk as close as we can, and we're gonna try lifting one leg. That's all. After lifting one leg, we will just simply try to lift the other one. If this feels easy, perhaps you can just bring both legs up, not straightening them, keep them bended. Look, the smaller you are, the easier you are to balance. I know we all want that straight headstand right away, but it's easier for our body to balance something very compressed, something very compact, and something very small. So first, finding your balance with tucked legs in is easier for you to understand what it is to be upside down. Your body and your mind need to process a whole bunch of things because this is probably new for you. So give your body and your mind a couple of days times and a couple of times of practice to be able to understand what is happening while it's upside down. After you have found your balance in this tucked position, you can slowly start straightening out. Don't be ashamed of using Paul the Wall. He's there for support. He's there to help you. Just use him. If this all goes well and you want to add a little bit more of core, you want to add a little bit extra to your headstand, you can start doing leg lifts. So first we start with negative leg lifts. So that means that when we're coming down out of a headstand, we are keeping our legs straight and we're gonna come down as slow as possible, engaging our core. Because core is what's gonna keep us up straight. So the more we work on our core, the easier also headstands will be for us and the more control we will have in this pose. So once the negative becomes easy to do, we can start trying to lift up. If that is possible for you to do with the help of the wall, you are ready to give Paul a break. You're ready to take some time and some distance between you guys, and you're ready to try this on your own. So very important, please remember, try to push out of your forearms. If you don't have the strength to lift your head up, give yourself a couple of days to build that strength, just to avoid any mistake, to avoid any injury, and follow this step by step and you'll be able to do a headstand, I promise you. I've seen students come into my classes that are not able to do a headstand, and with these simple step by step defragmentation of the pose, they're able to do it instantly. So some things here might be a little bit difficult. It's going to depend on your hamstring flexibility and your hip positioning. If you have a bit of anterior pelvic tilt, probably your hamstrings are a little bit tight. So getting close up might be a little bit hard for you, but don't get discouraged. Keep practicing and it will come for sure. If you want to see an anterior tilt video, you can check the description here and you can check if you actually have it so you can work on that first, because the foundation is the base of everything. If we have a proper foundation, anything we'll build on top of that will be strong. So that was all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and comment on the section below if there's any asana that you would like to know step by step so we can make a video especially for you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can actually watch the next videos coming up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm very grateful and I wish you a beautiful day.